Guess who will be talking to me today? Shannon Del Prado, the council member for C3 at the Village of Pinecrest. The Village of Pinecrest is governed by a 5-member village council. 3 council members are elected to represent specific residential areas and must reside in their respective area. A 4th council member and the mayor may reside anywhere in the village. The village council determines policies, adopts the annual budget, and makes laws. Shannon Del Prado was elected to Council Seat 3 in 2020. She's a lawyer and a founding partner at Pita, Weber and Del Prado, where she continues to practice. Today, we'll learn about the Village of Pinecrest, council member responsibilities, and important projects taking place right now. Come with me. Shannon, what a pleasure to be here with you today.
Oh my goodness, thank you for taking the time to be here.
Well, I appreciate your time today.
Oh, thank you.
Now, before we really dive into the Village of Pinecrest, who is Shannon and what drove you to this point in your life?
So I grew up, my parents were in the Foreign Service. My mother was in the Peace Corps, my father was a Foreign Service officer, and so I grew up all over Latin America. I went to 12 schools before I got out of high school, so there was a lot of moving around. And many of the places that we lived in were, I want to say they were politically tenuous, right? And so I was very attuned as a teenager to local politics. And I would love to say that it was out of intellectual curiosity, but the truth is that I wanted to know, am I going to be able to go to that soccer game, or is there going to be a coup d'etat on Saturday, or or is there going to be a demonstration, or are you going to be confined to the house? But I developed an early love for politics. Also living in those countries, you grew up with people who were disadvantaged, and so my parents were always volunteering, helping with adoptions, and they were very active volunteers. My mom was a Peace Corps volunteer, one of the originals, right? And so I grew up in a family that volunteered a lot. And so when we moved to Pinecrest, it was very special to live in one community, and especially Pinecrest, because it's such a great community. But I never took that for granted, and I love volunteering in our community. And I started off volunteering for the PTA when my kids were in school, volunteering with Chaplain Partnership, with my local trial bar, whatever. I love people. I like volunteerism. It feels good all the way around. And so ultimately, I ended up serving on the zoning board in Pinecrest, and that really was the beginning of my thinking about running for village council. And it is a volunteer position.
So Shannon, can you tell the community what are the key responsibilities for a council member, and specifically for your seat?
Okay, so we serve the village at large, although we have 3 geographic designations. 1 representative will come from Zone 1, 1 from Zone 2, and 1 from Zone 3. And then we have a 4th council member that is at large, and the mayor is elected at large. Really, any resident in the Village of Pinecrest can call on any council member for assistance or for information. Our primary responsibility is we're the legislative body. We are the policy-making body for the Village of Pinecrest. We approve the budget annually. But really the job is, to me, so much more. Like, I have a table at the farmer's market, and I go on Sundays. I know some of my fellow council members hold coffees, and we're just there for residents, as a sounding board. Again, because it's a volunteer position and we all live in our community, it's just, we're there to serve the community. I enjoy it. For example, I had a lady who was having trouble just with the permitting process and understanding the permitting process. And while I can't get involved per se, I certainly could go over and see what she needed help with, and then pass it on to our village manager, and then our village manager will get someone to reach out. And just meeting residents and going to their homes, talking to them about things that are important it's been very rewarding, and it's been a nice way to get to know our community better.
For the community that really needs help, they're there for us. Thank you.
We really are. Thank you. And we enjoy it.
Shannon, we all love Pinecrest. Now, from your council member perspective, what makes Pinecrest so special and unique?
I think that Pinecrest has all the amenities of a larger city, but really is a small town culturally. We feel like a village. We have a great farmers market. In fact, it's the #1 rated farmers market in South Florida. We are ranked the number one community to live in South Florida by niche.com. But we have Pinecrest Gardens. It's a cultural hub. We have all kinds of bands that come in, jazz, cultural activities, art fairs. We have community center, we have world-class parks, we have some great restaurants. So it has so many of the amenities of a larger city, but it really has a small town feeling to it. And so I think that is, if I had to quantify what makes Pinecrest special, that's what I would say.
Thank you. Shannon, we know there's a lot going on at the Village. What are the key projects and priorities going on right now?
So we just concluding the water project, which was a major endeavor. Secured funding through the ARP funds and other sources to bring water to over 700 homes that were still on well water. So that was a major undertaking. In addition to that, we just acquired Gary Metzner Park, and we are in the process of acquiring another park, hoping everything goes through smoothly. So those are two major endeavors, and stormwater is an ongoing effort in the village, assessing the stormwater drainage and making sure that that's running as well as we can, and constantly improving our stormwater situation. Resilience. The village has now a composting program, which is really nice. You can go to the farmers market, you can do your composting market on Sundays, and we have implemented a recycling program where the village has major recycling days, and we're just running the village.
So, a quick question. Surrounding neighbors cannot bring anything to the farmers market?
The composting, we give the buckets out to our residents, but anybody can bring their compost to the Pinecrest, the farmers market, and leave it on Sundays. And in addition to that, you can come any day of the week behind the community center. There are 2 big bins, and you can bring your compost and leave it there, and it's picked up a couple of times a week. And actually, I went last week to see the farm where the composting is taken, and it's really impressive. I think they've kept about 300 million pounds of food out of landfill. I mean, that's remarkable.
That is remarkable.
Yeah.
So don't waste your time. Make sure you stop by the farmers market, get your bucket, and participate, because this is just a great initiative for the community and, for the earth and the future generations to come. So make sure you participate on that one. Tell me one thing, what has surprised you the most while working in your position or volunteering in your position?
Number one, to get elected in Pinecrest, despite the fact that it's a volunteer position, it's it can be competitive, and I walked many homes. I spent months walking, and I think that what surprised me the most was that everyone, it didn't surprise me, but it was inspiring, was that everybody loves Pinecrest. I don't think I met one resident who said, I don't want to live here. Everybody loves our village. They had things that they would like to see changed or improved, but hands down, everybody told me they loved our village and they loved living here. And really, I think the message was, don't rock the boat. You can make things better a little bit, but stay the course. So that was number one. But number two, when you go to Disney, it's just a pleasant experience. And if you ever peek behind the scenes, you see there's so much going on. That's the village. I mean, the village employees, there's over 150 full-time employees working in the village every day, to keep our village running and maintain it as it is. And until I sat on the council, I really didn't appreciate how much effort and, all that our village puts into running our village on a daily basis. It's really remarkable. We have an amazing staff. We're very blessed. And our village runs really, really well. And it's kind of like, a duck where it's smooth on top, but underneath they're just working so hard to keep everything going. And that was really interesting to me, because I've lived in Pinecrest many years. And, I just take for granted that everything works. And there's really a lot of effort that goes into that behind the scenes, making our community what it is.
For those residents that would like to be actually more involved with the council, how can they do that?
So Marina, all of our meetings are noticed by law. And so the village website lists all the council meetings, and anyone's free to attend any of our council meetings.
Evidently, as a council member, you live at the village. So what would you say you like the most about living in Pinecrest?
Oh my gosh, Marina, thank you. How long do I have? No. Number one, it's a safe community. That's fundamental, right? Number two, we have beautiful parks. We have outstanding schools. Pinecrest is beautiful. The greenery is amazing. It's a tree city. I love Pinecrest.
Shannon, what is the best way for the community to get in touch with you and the Village of Pinecrest?
Perfect. So any resident who wants to reach the village can reach the village at 305-234-2121. The village police is 305-234-2100. You can call the village and they will reach out to any of the council members that you want to speak to. My cell phone number is on my website at shannonforpinecrest.com. In addition to that, all of the council members' emails are on the website, and you can email the entire council if you'd like to. But really, we're accessible by telephone, by email, or any way that a resident wants to reach us. And I go to the farmers market on Sundays, so you can come and stop by my table there.
Well, it was a great conversation. Again, I appreciate your time and, just sharing more about Pinecrest and what the village has been doing. I think as residents, we get emails, we get the village magazine, but sometimes, we are all so busy running around. You took us by the hand and just, shared what's going on. So thank you so much.
You're very gracious. Thank you very much for making this available to me and for taking the time and doing this service for our community. And thanks for all the work you do in our community.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel.